Good evening, my name is Terry Bautista, and the International Hotel is a very special event. I happen to be on sentry duty for the week before the fall, and so I would report at 11 o'clock in the morning, at 11 o'clock at night, and get off at 7:30 in the morning, and then proceed to my day job at Oakland Public Schools at 8:30. This continued for the entire week, and Saturday was the fall. During that week, what was really difficult was because I would have to work a regular job from 8:30 to 5:30 and still report to work, or at least in terms of my sentry duty at the International Hotel at 11 p.m. It was hard to say whether the police and the sheriffs would come, so that's why there was 24/7 coverage of making sure that tenants were protected and prepared once the sheriff's deputies would arrive. So some of my responsibilities was to stand at the front door and watch the streets. Some nights the garbage trucks would scare us, and then other times we would have to stand on the roof of the building. It was a 3-story brick building, and we'd have to watch from a higher vantage point. The hotel had been threatened for many years, at least 10, so there was never any real sense of when the actual eviction would happen. I remember one of those nights in that week before the fall, someone said, "You need to take a break. Why don't you go into the community hall?" So I found myself in the dark crawling over bodies who were sleeping on the makeshift stage, and realized that there was really no place to sleep. But I found a place to rest for about an hour. So that was kind of what sentry duty was, from 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Pretty much waiting for the police, going from station to station, taking a nap for an hour so that you could stay up the whole night. One evening I decided that I didn't want to sleep on the stage. So I found my friend, Jeanette Lazam, and I asked her, "Could I just sleep in your room?" And I did, on the floor. And I'm not sure, maybe she had some other duty because she didn't stay in her room that night. So I realized that with a little bit of creativity, I found myself a comfortable place to sleep. So I took a nap, and about maybe late afternoon, my husband came in and said, "Why are you here? You're supposed to be at the hotel." I said, "Oh my God, well, I needed to sleep," which of course I hadn't been sleeping for a whole week. So I called my sister, who had another different responsibility, payphone, and she said, "You can't get here. The hotel is quadrant off, 2 blocks in each direction." So I was regrettable about the fact that my assignment was to be in the room, or one of the rooms, with one of the tenants, because the plan was, we knew the police were going to come, we knew the sheriffs were going to evict, we just didn't know when. And so one of the strategies was that some of us would be posted in the rooms of the tenants and escort them safely out of the building. It wasn't easy, because when my sister called, she says, "We're 7 deep in front of the hotel. The police are on horseback. It's pretty scary." But I couldn't go, so I had nothing else to do but watch it on TV, and it went through the whole night. It was difficult to get into the rooms because every inch of the hotel was covered with e-body. Someone sitting or protecting the stairway. But finally, in the early morning, the most difficult thing to watch was the old people who had to leave their homes. And part of my regret was that I was supposed to be there to help escort the tenants. So that's kind of what I saw a week before the fall, and unfortunately I wasn't there, but I certainly was there the time that I felt was important.
Can you tell us something about the people, the tenants? Who do you remember?
Well, some of them were fiery.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man named Wahat. He was a warrior. There was I guess he was the hotel manager. Kind of looked like a shady dude. But you could tell he probably was a scrapper, tough. And there were a lot of old men who never married, but obviously loved music, played, danced. So there was actually a similar program in Oakland. So what happened in San Francisco at the International Hotel was more dramatic, but also happened in Oakland. And some of the teenagers that we worked with in the summer of '72 were inspired by the International Hotel. It fell in 1977, but in that time period, our teenagers, like Evelyn, grew up and realized that the Filipino community had a history, and they were personified in the old men and old women that we got to know. And so in Oakland, we did a similar thing. We actually built a hotel called Project Mono. So the experience not only provided historical context to why it was important to get involved, but it also provided the connection between the young and the old.